Dempster Highway 2025. This morning, we packed up camp in Dawson City and said goodbye to some of our friends as we each split to go our own ways after the Dust to Dawson event. We crossed the Yukon River on the ferry, grabbed some breakfast, washed some laundry, and stocked up on a few supplies. I first went up the Dempster Highway to Tuktoyaktuk in June of 2023, 2 years ago. Last year, I went as far as Inuvik with my then 11-year-old son, and this year, I am excited to be bringing Kayla along for the ride. As we turned onto the Dempster Highway, a wildfire was burning just over the ridge by the intersection. The road was closed soon behind us, but it won't be a problem for us this trip because we have a few days anyways before we will return. At first, the sky was smoky. The air cleared a bit as we headed north. Today, we had a mixed bit of weather with a lot of clouds, a little rain, and a little bit of sun. The Dempster Highway quickly carries you into beautiful mountain country. The mosquitoes up here will nearly make you cry, but otherwise, it's almost like heaven. Road surface conditions here can change quickly depending on maintenance and recent weather, but generally, in my travels north over the last 3 trips I have taken, the early part of the road has a mostly solid dirt surface that eventually transitions to a hard but rough, rocky surface until Eagle Plains. A while after Eagle Plains, the gravel starts to get a little deeper with a noticeable change in depth going into Northwest Territories. I wouldn't call the road challenging until the last 90-mile stretch between Inuvik and Tuktoyaktuk. With that said, I have only traveled the road in the rain, south of Eagle Plains. There are some slick, muddy patches, but for the most part the surface south of Eagle Plains is fairly solid. I have always had good weather north from there. You should always ride carefully and read the road for yourself, making up your own mind on how to proceed 1 mile at a time. Everyone's Dempster Highway travel story is subjective and based on the conditions that they had at the time.
Here, give me a little thumbs up real quick.
By the evening, we got to Eagle Plains. Here, there is 24-hour gas, a campground with running water and showers. They also have a fairly expensive but decent bar and restaurant. The kitchen closes by about 10, if I remember right. The mosquitoes are horrible, even in the wind, but the views are good.
Doesn't make for wanting to spend a whole lot of time videoing the breakdown.
Here on day 2, the goal for today is to get to Inuvik, nearly 250 miles up the road. The weather today was sunny and quite warm. This trail to the radio tower that starts about 15 or 20 miles into Northwest Territories is worth the ride up. The views from the top are really cool. We continued north, and it didn't take me long to crash my bike. I was riding close behind Kayla in her dust. The road had been mostly free of loose gravel for a bit, and I was lazily sitting down. I hit a gravel ridge and started to wobble. Like a moron, I stuck my foot out and got even more unstable. I wobbled for long enough to realize, fortunately, that I needed to get my feet out of the way of my boxes before I went down. I crashed and slid to a stop with my handlebars hanging just over the edge of the road. Fortunately, I was not hurt at all. I wouldn't even call the road difficult at all in this area. I just wasn't paying attention and was crowding Kayla in the dust too much. My SW Motec box was only tweaked a little, and the lid seems to be sealed still. So I am thankful for that. "10 or 15 minutes later, on the Peel River ferry, I was still shaking a bit from the crash. I proceeded from there with a bit more caution, and generally left more space between Kayla and I in the dust for the rest of the day. The delay waiting for the ferry at McKenzie River is sometimes a bit longer, so Kayla seemed to enjoy a short nap before we were ready to board. We made it into Jack Territorial Park in Inuvik in good time. We will sleep here for the next 2 nights.
Almost like a Pepsi and a toilet bowl cleaner had a baby. Probably not worth it. Morning.
Well, it's like 8:30 in the morning, and the sun is right back here. And last night at 11:30, it was the same height in the sky, and it was like right over here. The last time the sun set up here in Inuvik was on May 24, and the next sunset is on July 19. It's kind of interesting and daylight all the time. Got my Snickers put on this morning.
A closer inspection of my box showed that one of the attachment points were damaged a bit, but I'll be able to straighten that out.
The box emptied out, doing a bit of straightening here. Handle's a little bit too long. I think we're about back to normal, minus a few extra scratches. I'll have to do a little bit of work on the lid later and I can get it off in this corner. I think that might have curled up a little bit, but the seal's pretty well in contact. It should work.
Here on day 3, we left camp set up in Inuvik and headed to the Arctic Ocean in Tuktoyaktuk, riding light. This is the section with the deepest gravel, and riding without a load will feel great. The first 30 or so miles are easy, with little gravel piled up. We found some impressive potholes, and after crawling into one, I'm not so sure pothole is the right word for these things. Anyways, thankfully, they all seem to have been well marked. Can you imagine riding off into one of these without seeing it? Yeah, that probably wouldn't go well. We made it into Tuktoyaktuk feeling pretty good. And I was surprised at how much more comfortable I felt on this deeper gravel section, of course riding light, than I did 2 years ago when I made the trip up here as a newer rider. They told us that the ice around the edge of the water here had only finished melting within the past week. I have jumped into the ocean up here before, so I decided to hide behind the camera today. Kayla almost had me convinced that jumping in was actually fun this time. It feels cool to make it to the end of all available road in one direction. And that is what adventure is. Going around the next curve until there's no road left. We took a bit to wander around the store in Tuktoyaktuk. It is fairly normal to find everything from sporting goods to ATVs to furniture, a bit of hardware, and groceries all for sale under one roof in the rural villages out here. On the trip back to our camp in Inuvik, I tried to better capture the road conditions here on this stretch of road. Horror stories are commonly told about this last bit of highway, with some reports claiming there is more than 8 inches of deep, loose gravel here. I didn't find more than about 4 inches anywhere, and even that was only in a few places. But it is definitely the most challenging bit of the route. I found riding over it to be pretty reasonable by shifting my weight back toward the back of the bike, and then riding in 1 gear lower than I normally would for the speed to keep a little more power available on instant demand. And then you sort of have to just let the bike wander just a bit and guide it with your weight and allow it to drift down the road with a bit of wobble as it crosses over the gravel. We made it back to camp in one piece and without a mishap.
Got a shower. Headed back to the tent. It's midnight and there's the sun. I will see you in the morning.
On day 4, we got up and packed up camp. On the way out of Inuvik, I made a short stop at the visitor center. They have really nice displays and good information about the area. Also, if you stop on your way in, they will give you a coupon, or at least were offering them when I was there, for a small percentage off of fuel in Inuvik for stopping. You definitely should stop there if you are passing through. We had near perfect weather today. It was definitely dusty, but the sunshine was nice. The original plan was to continue south for a while after a bit of supper in Eagle Plains, but after stopping for a bit, we decided we were tired and decided to spend the night to take it easy. While packing the bikes up on day 5, I realized the damaged spot on Kayla's tire had cracked. That patch I had put on from glue tread was still hanging on, but bulging out of the hole. I probably should have used a bigger one. So, today, we will get a delayed start. I changed the tire.
These spoons are worth everything. Got the short ones.
Well, for 750 miles on this road, that's impressive. I wondered how much of the cord was damaged. Guess that's that. I've checked around the entire bead like this with the spoon, the whole way around both sides to make sure there's nowhere the tube is pinched. I didn't pinch it with my spoons. I was super careful this time. So we'll see if it takes air. Dish soap solution, which is getting thin because this is tire change number 3, and I've used most of the soap and added water several times. All the way around the inside of the bead makes a huge difference in how well it seats. Yeah, a little bit of shop here, a little more pressure. That worked, bead seated.
After finally getting back on the road, we enjoyed another good day of mostly great weather. While taking a break along the road, I ran into Sean with Arctic Moto Adventure in Whitehorse heading north. He is the one who shipped me the new tire in Dawson City that I ended up needing today. Out of the deeper gravel, I spent a bit of time playing with my Insta360 camera and trying to get footage from different angles that I haven't really messed with so much. I was happy with the turnout of some of it. We made it off of the Dempster Highway and into Dawson City for the night. On morning 6, we packed up and stopped at River West Bistro, my favorite breakfast stop in Dawson City. Then we headed to the ferry, where we crossed over the Yukon River and headed home over the top of the World Highway to Tok. It was interesting to ride by the water pumps and fire suppression lines run on this side of the river that they had set up in case the wildfire we passed on our way to Dawson last week gets too close to town. Fortunately, it looked like that fire was mostly under control at this point. We enjoyed our trip and are looking forward to the next time. Someday, maybe I'll be able to spend more than a couple of weeks at a time on the road. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next adventure coming soon.